So in our very late teens, it became that cocaine cowboy, Smurfbull, and I decided to do the mile, which in our latitude meant 10 kilometers. Now only Smurfbull knew about jogging. He'd recently been bulking the most seriously out of the gang, and had some not just discotheque firearms beginning to show. It was a stupidly windy day and we lived seaside. And so off we went, aiming for the old factory on the isthmus, then back to my parents' cottage. Smurfbull was first off, and he was off easily. I came after. I'd never really run, but had long legs, and I just felt like I was in my frolicky element. Now lastly came Cocaine Cowboy, who was the most emotionally invested in the endeavor. Out of the three, Cocaine Cowboy cared the most about his looks and performance, and jaws and voice and eyebrows. But it was no longer about the revolving door of girls for him. Cocaine had higher, more celestial pursuits in mind, and he was going to run, not too soft, but not too hard either. This was his ethereal post-sexual maxim. Smurfbull had said goodbye long ago, when I passed Cowboy for the second time, and knew I'd finished long before him. The gale was bothering Cowboy now. He was punching it, he was seeing in it holograms of too soft, too hard, and the little wind he'd left in himself, he used for cursing. Me, I could focus on the sun, and the infinity of world which is promised only in May. I finished 5 minutes before Cocaine. But it wasn't until years later that I understood that the enjoyment which had fueled the last of the run for me had been Cocaine's misery. From it, I could grin and make somewhat love to my system. I could even get a chat in with Smurfbull while beginning to worry if Cocaine would perhaps be in a bad mood for the rest of the day. The point of having the time that I have is to delve deeper into myself and into others without falling for the urge to gossip. But here goes a little gossip. To my mind, people run for 2, maybe 3 reasons. They want the runner's high, they want the exercise, or they want the punishment. All of these 3 are plain wrong. I'm sorry. Physical exercise, such as yoga or Pilates, is a largely misunderstood endeavor amongst humans. It is misunderstood because of our legacy of suffering. Christians suffered because the desert was dry and scary, because the sun was thought to be a reprimanding God. Suffering became our sort of modus operandi. To date, we believe it will cohere us with heaven, and jogging is often one of the ways people choose to suffer. Surely the point of exercise is to be as much as one can in a theta or alpha brainwave state, while physically straining oneself. It is not to maximize efforts or peak and strain. And this is where I believe a lot of people remain in the cortisol-addled state that so often seems to come from what I deem as a deep-rooted Christian legacy. Now the art in this, which is where most of us go wrong, I believe, is to know exactly how much you are to push yourself without generating beta, either from the lack of challenge, mind you, or from the overstressed response that comes from killing the proverbial you-know-what. Good sports is a high form of genius, I believe. It is an attempt at a perfect glissando. Not too hard, not too soft, as good old Cocaine Cowboy recited in his heart. But beta and alpha are not just laurels for the recently awoken discussions on the masculine. Beta and alpha are in fact real and measurable states that demarcate how relaxed and focused a person is. You can be in beta state and be focused, but you will not be as relaxed as you would be if you were an alpha, which provides that smooth and calm work pace we like to call flow. Now, like a glove, this model fits into a rather nuisance ongoing about, well, alpha males and beta males these days. An alpha male is not someone who is Arnoldian in size or who takes charge of others, other highly evolved or less highly evolved primates. It is the man who can remain calm in environments of high stress. It is the man who can keep his cool when all the other men are burning from stress and, well, they're fast beta waves. It just so happens that this man is often the one who naturally is pushed to the front of the ranks. While not everyone can become leaders of tribes or societies, nor should they, everyone can approach those states within themselves when alpha waves become more easily produced under hard duress. And there is nothing more perfect than physical exercise to meet this end. Therefore, remember to have a blast when you're exercising. Have it by any means necessary. Try to forget narratives such as killing the proverbial you-know-what. Movement is not exercise. Movement is not exercise because movement has no set intention on there being a challenge, at least not consciously. Now, this goes for things such as dance and climbing, even if the physical strain can be more intense than during classical exercise-only type movements. It quickly proves to even the most skeptical person that difficulty is not that difficult if only we hold love for it. And so by this maxim, everyone can find a movement or exercise that fits them, that propagates their alpha states. You really only need to let your imagination come alive, because you can walk, you can dance, you can even sit in ways that become good exercise to you. So, and even lying on the couch can work, as toddlers will show. So good luck with that, and don't lose faith.